You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something. I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published a part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Have it your way.
There is nothing to operate there. Times-Picayune, dated June 21st, 1993. Gabriel's eye is immediately drawn to an article about the voodoo murders. He scans it quickly.
I don't believe this. They've closed the case.
What case?
The voodoo murders case. The paper says that the police have learned that the murders were the result of an underworld cartel war and that the war is over.
That's not good.
It's ridiculous. What about the killers? And the voodoo angle, they never got anything on that.
I know you were into it, Gabriel. But if it's over, that's hardly a negative. Anyway, if you're that upset, why don't you talk it over with your pal Mosley?
You don't get it, Grace. Just forget it, okay?
Gabriel decides to check his horoscope, despite his disgust. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation, lest his eye fall on you too.
Peachy. My kidney's already floating, thanks. Have you noticed this guy outside the shop?
Yeah. He gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Have fun.
Sam, my man.
Hey there, it's you. I got that bracelet for you. This piece was a real toughie. For some reason, the metal just wasn't setting. I must be out of practice.
Well, it looks good to me. Thanks, Sam.
No problem. By the way, I'm heading out of town tonight.
Yeah, where to?
Marcus used to tell me that if I ever beat him at chess, he'd take me around the world.
The old bastard has enough money stuffed in his mattress to cover the federal deficit, and he hates spending a penny of it. I'm gonna enjoy watching him squirm through every mile.
Sounds like fun. Good luck.
Are you kidding? Luck is my middle name.
Sam's replica of Madame Cazeneu's snake bracelet looks just like the original.
That's Crash. What the hell is he up to with that drummer?
The drummer is busy. The drummer is...
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back. Has that beignet guy been by yet today? I'm starved.
I haven't seen him in a while. I don't think he's coming by here anymore.
Damn. You can't count on anything these days.
Hey. Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up.
Knight, I hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The Voodoo Murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, son of a bitch. Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
The case? What case? I told you, the Voodoo Murders case is closed.
How can you just close it? It's not solved, is it?
Oh, it's solved. Turns out the Chicago Mafia was trying to invade local territory, using Mississippi for drug running now that Florida's so hot. What we had here was a little resistance from local businessmen. Word came in this morning that the Chicago group is giving up and pulling out of New Orleans.
But that doesn't bring the killers to justice.
Well, the boys upstairs seem to figure it this way. Let the slime kill each other. Better the vermin we know than the Chicago vermin, I guess. The attitude in the department is that we've just been done a huge favor. Well, they're probably right.
What about the local cartel? Are you just gonna let them go?
At least they're part of us. We'll deal with them over time, always have. New Orleans is pretty clean that way, you know.
Well, that's the illusion, isn't it?
Look, I'm not totally in agreement here either, but what can I do? These guys are not about to get caught. I'm disappointed about the book, too. Look, next big murder case I get, I'll call you in and we'll do that one up right, okay? In fact, I could probably dig up some old cases and you could spice them up.
No, thanks. How can I convince you to reopen the case?
Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans, prove that they're a threat, get me a lead on the cult.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
I need to talk to you. Ask you some questions.
No way, man. I'm too sick. Let's go away.
Come on. I have to know what you know about these voodoo people.
You don't know nothing about nothing, man. You're so far out of it, you wouldn't understand anything. Just like that friend of yours, Mosley. Go away.
I'm not like Mosley. I know more than you think I do. I'll believe you.
Forget it, man. It's not worth my breath.
Do you recognize this?
Where'd you get that?
Why? Do you know something about it?
Know something about it? Look at this.
Crash opens his shirt and reveals a tattoo.
It's the same snake.
It's their sign. The mark of the snake. Without it, they'll never let you get close.
The sign of the snake. Right. Your tattoo, my bracelet. Now, do you believe that I know something about these people?
Yeah. You know about them, I guess.
Will you answer some questions for me now?
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to you a little. I'll make it fast.
Tell me what you know about voodoo.
Look, just take some advice. Stay away from this voodoo shit. You don't really want to know, man. Believe me. Just do yourself a favor and leave me alone.
I want to know about the voodoo murders.
You're on the right track. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna risk my life by talking about it, man.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Man, can't you see I'm sick? Don't bug me with stupid questions.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The eyes. Snake's eyes. Dambala.
Okay, calm down. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Nothing. Just leave me alone.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans Coeur means?
I never heard of that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
I don't know her. Honest.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm sick. Dying. Eating a big enchilada. What the fuck else matters?
I saw you talking to that drummer. What did you tell him?
You saw me with the drummer? Nobody's supposed to see. Shit. I blew it again. Promise you won't say nothing to no one. It'll get back to him, everything does. Promise me you won't tell anyone you saw me.
Okay, but you have to tell me everything I want to know.
Okay. Okay. I was sending a message, man. They have These rotter drummers posted around the quarter. They see everything. And they report.
Report? How?
The drums, man. It's some kind of code.
Tell me about the Rada drums.
I already told you about that.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I never heard of that.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? What the hell is that? Voodoo's voodoo, man.
Do you know anything about veves?
I never heard of that.
Now tell me about the animal masks.
They wear them dancing at the rituals. They don't just wear them. They become them. They become the animals.
Stop talking nonsense.
It happens. That's all I know.
Tell me what you know about a secret voodoo hanfour in New Orleans.
All right. There's this is an underground cartel in New Orleans. A voodoo cartel. They control everything that happens on the street. I mean, everything. Bought or sold. They have their fingers in the legit world, too. Banks, foreign stuff, you name it. There's supposed to be this temple. What you said, a Hound 4. That's their headquarters. I heard people say it's underground. Somewhere in the French Quarter. I don't know where.
Have you ever been there?
No. I've never been in it. I'm a nobody. A runner. But I saw them once. Out at the lake. They became animals, man. Beasts. I remember the eyes. The eyes.
Hey, are you okay?
The eyes. The eyes of the snake.
I think I should go get a doctor. Hey, are you all right?
Someone! I need help!
The eyes of the snake. Dambala.
Oh. What snake? Crash!
Crush spasms twice more, then dies as Gabriel wanted.
Oh, God. Poor bastard. I guess I better copy this tattoo.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Hello?
It's me. I can't sleep.
Me neither.
Can I?
Yes. Come.
Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now, what's up?
You got another package this morning. FedEx from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang in a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble. In case you don't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge, I'm glad you called. Did you... You did? Wait, slow down. The Aigris? Really? You think that's them? The wheel within a wheel? A goon badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom, okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo. Well, why would the Veve show up there? Okay. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can. Okay. Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay. Thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe. And I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Nothing. I'll be careful, I promise.
Gunter Ritter's diary is leather-bound. Its parchment pages are old and fragile. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with a beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Oh, bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigations into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seemed. The second to the last entry described Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He found the name of one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Halsey, son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. It's a newspaper clipping from the year 1810. The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed Veve. Somewhere there's a New Orleans phone book missing one of its C pages. The letter is addressed to Gabriel from Wolfgang Ritter. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, Gabriel's grandfather. Wolfgang's letter says,
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Could you research rudder drums for me?
Rhododrum? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a rhododrum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Does Ogun Badaikri mean anything to you?
No. Sorry.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Ooh. No. Makes my skin crawl, though.
Do you know anything else about voodoo?
I've told you all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
Times-Picayune, dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful. Good coffee.
Gabriel cannot see any way to pick that up.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
I've got some things I need to do.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Hot Ridge, what's the good word? Hot Ridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way Crash checked out. Not a pretty ending.
These notes look interesting.
Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper. Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper. Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
You bastard! Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Do you know anything about rider drums?
What I know, I wouldn't be talking about with you.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir. Very interesting.
Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples. Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python, hued with purples and greens. It matches the scale from Lake Pontchartrain. He places the two scales together. There's no one in that part of the...
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
See you later.
Uh-huh.
Let me get these new marks down.
The The second message made from the voodoo crosses is on the wall.
Hello there, got a sec?
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War, and back further, too. Take a look around, you'll see.
It's Gabriel's sketch of the series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall, with magenta moonbeams translation penciled in. It's Gabriel's sketch of the new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall. Gabriel checks the 2 messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the break down. Now, if only DJ reads it in time. Gabriel should get her attention first. Gabriel doesn't want to take that out of the park. Gabriel should get her attention first.
You're back. You know, you really freaked me out running off like that. Yoo-hoo! Anybody home?
Stay away from Maryagetti, or you shall pay with your life.
What the hell is going on? Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
One of the Getty drummers watches the police station.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? Guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, huh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said.
Crash said? Did he mention pink elephants, too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No. Actually, I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy. Standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report. But it won't happen. I know these guys. Lock them up overnight, and they tend to overdo it the next day.
Your professionalism is astonishing. There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African Studies at Tulane. Yesterday, I went to see him about the Voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the Voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the Voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the Voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the Voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. If I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit. You think it's so dangerous.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
I already told you. You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? Well, that's pretty good work, Knight. But that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? And what about them?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
Really? It's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here?
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed. Okay, you've convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Okay, they're a threat.
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. Certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. If we can tie them into this voodoo cult, we just might have something. Okay. I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on. Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Damn!